Imagine you're a kid, minding your own business, dreaming about playing with your friends, maybe even sneaking an extra piece of mango from the kitchen. And suddenly, the universe says, "Nope," and throws every tragedy it can find straight at your face. That's basically the life of the boy we're about to talk about. A life that feels like one long, dramatic soap opera written by fate itself. But this isn't just a sad story. It's a tale of resilience, survival, identity, and even love, set in the heart of a traditional African village, where ancestral beliefs and Christianity wrestle for dominance, and where growing up isn't just about age, it's about surviving everything life can possibly throw at you. Let's dive into this unforgettable story. Our story begins in a quiet, remote village, the kind where everybody knows everybody else's business, and gossip travels faster than the wind. This is where we meet Adu, a young boy whose life is about to be rewritten by grief. It all starts with nightmares. Every night, Adu dreams about being chased by a leopard, and in his village, that's no ordinary dream. It's a terrible omen, a sign that someone close is going to die. His father, Nemo, is worried sick, but Yarrow, a devoted Christian friend, tries to calm the storm by praying with Adu. Unfortunately, the prayers don't seem to work, because the leopard wasn't just a dream, it was a warning. Before long, tragedy strikes. One stormy night, lightning hits a tree, and it crashes down, killing Adu's mother and sister instantly. Just like that, his world collapses. It's a loss that would shake anyone, but for Adu and his father, it's just the beginning. Grief becomes their new reality. The house that once echoed with laughter now sits in silence. And just when you think things can't possibly get worse, they do. Adu's father, Nemo, dies too, leaving Adu completely alone in the world. And this is where the story starts to dig deeper into bigger themes. It's not just about one boy's pain. It's also about the tension between tradition and Christianity in the village. People are torn between their old beliefs, omens, spirits, ancestral curses, and the new religion brought by missionaries. That inner conflict reflects a bigger one, the struggle of a continent trying to hold on to its roots while navigating a changing world. Adu's own life becomes a metaphor for this struggle, a young soul orphaned and lost, searching for belonging. After the deaths, the darkness grows heavier. Enter Goma, Adu's aunt. And honestly, if there were a contest for most evil aunt in African literature, she'd be a top contender. Goma is cold, spiteful, and seems to hate Adu for no clear reason. But her presence adds layers to the story. Through her, we learn about the village's history, like how it got its name, Susa, after the tragic deaths of Yeboah's wife and daughter. Goma's shady behavior whenever Yeboah's name comes up makes us wonder if there's more to her story than meets the eye. And there is. Aha! But before any mysteries are solved, Adu is hit by yet another blow. With both parents gone, he's shipped off to live with Goma in her hometown, Buama. And if you thought his life was miserable before, brace yourself. This is where things get truly painful. Life in Buama is hell. Goma treats Adu like he's a stray dog that wandered into her house. She humiliates him, starves him, and makes his life a daily nightmare. If there's one silver lining, it's Ama, Goma's daughter, who shows Adu a little kindness and keeps him from completely falling apart. But here's the plot twist. Ama isn't actually Goma's daughter. She's Yeboah's lost daughter, the one everyone thought died in that road accident years ago. Goma has been raising her in secret, and that explains a lot about her strange behavior.
What a twist!
Still, none of this changes Adu's daily reality. The trauma of losing his family and the abuse from Goma push him to the brink. At one point, he even considers ending his life, a chilling moment that shows just how deep his despair runs. But the words of Yarrow, his spiritual mentor, echo in his mind and stop him. He chooses to live, even if life doesn't seem worth living. And slowly, things begin to shift. Adu finds a small glimmer of hope in Buama through his teachers, Ofori and Becky, who treat him with kindness and offer him a sense of family he's been missing. He also becomes friends with a boy named Anane, and that bond helps him rediscover small joys in life. The real turning point comes when Adu helps the village chief catch a gang of local thieves. For the first time, he feels a sense of purpose. He's not just a grieving boy anymore, he's someone who can make a difference. This moment becomes a symbol of his rebirth. Then, fate delivers one final surprise. Yaboa discovers the truth. Amma is his daughter. The revelation changes everything, not just for Amma, but for Adu too. Their painful pasts begin to give way to a brighter future. In the end, both Adu and Amma are given opportunities to leave Buama behind. Adu eventually returns to Susa, but he doesn't stay. He sneaks away to live with Ofori and Becky, his chosen family. And in a final, unexpected twist, the bond between Adu and Amma transforms from sibling-like affection into love. The story closes with a kiss, sealing their new beginning. If you followed me this far, you've probably guessed that this deeply emotional, spiritually charged, and thematically rich story is none other than Grief Child by Lawrence Darmani, a novel that explores loss, identity, and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming pain. So, is this book worth reading? Let's talk about that. First of all, this is a story that hits you in the gut. Darmani doesn't hold back. From the first page to the last, you're walking beside Adu through some of the darkest, most painful moments a person can experience. And yet, the novel never sinks into hopelessness. It's a story about grief, yes, but also about healing, redemption, and the power of choice. One of the most powerful aspects of the novel is how Adu's personal journey, kind of mirrors the larger story of Africa itself. Think about it. Adu, orphaned and searching for identity, represents a continent grappling with the aftermath of colonialism, a continent that has lost its parents, its cultural roots and traditions, and now must find its place in a rapidly changing world. His struggles, balancing tradition and Christianity, dealing with cultural dislocation, and searching for belonging, are the same struggles faced by many post-colonial societies. The tension between tradition and Christianity is another major theme. Throughout the book, we see villagers torn between ancestral beliefs, omens, spirits, rituals, and the teachings of Christianity. This isn't just background noise, it actually shapes the characters' decisions and reflects a deeper cultural identity crisis. Darmani invites readers to think critically about how these belief systems can coexist and what is lost or gained when one overtakes the other. Then there's the theme of resilience. Adu's journey from broken, grieving boy to purposeful, hopeful man is a testament to the human capacity to endure. Even in his lowest moments, contemplating suicide, suffering abuse, he finds reasons to keep going. And those reasons are deeply human friendship, love, purpose, and the possibility of a better future. Now, the book isn't perfect. If you're someone who prefers subtle storytelling, you might find that Darmani's hand is a little too visible. There are moments where the narrative feels preachy, where the author steps in to deliver a lesson rather than letting the story speak for itself. This might be due to the influence of the publisher or simply Darmani's own style, but it does occasionally break the flow of the story. That said, the strength of the narrative outweighs its flaws. The simple language and clear structure make it accessible to younger readers, while the deeper themes give adults plenty to chew on. It's a story that lingers, not just because of the heartbreak it portrays, but because of the hope it leaves behind. Lawrence Darmani is a Ghanaian writer, poet, and editor, well known for his works that blend African storytelling traditions with Christian themes. His writing often explores human suffering, faith, and the search for meaning, and Grief Child is perhaps his most famous work, winning the prestigious Commonwealth Writers' Prize for Best First Book in Africa. Darmani's background in Christian publishing clearly influences his storytelling. He believes in the power of literature not just to entertain, but to teach, to heal, and to inspire. And in Grief Child, he does just that, offering readers a story that is painful, powerful, and ultimately redemptive. So, is Grief Child a worthwhile novel? Absolutely, but it's not an easy read. It's a story that forces you to confront pain, loss, and the darkest corners of the human experience. But if you stay with it, you'll also witness growth, healing, and the triumph of the human spirit. It's a story that reminds us that even in our deepest grief, life still offers us reasons to keep going. And sometimes, those reasons lead us to a future brighter than we could have ever imagined. If you enjoyed this review and want more deep dives into classic African literature, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments, what did Grief Child mean to you? Until next time, keep reading and keep growing.
Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you're interested in diving deeper into this book, I've left some links down in the description. You can use it to grab yourself a copy and keep the adventure going. And if you're in the mood for more great reads, don't go just yet. Click on one of the videos popping up right now that I think you'll love. And don't forget to give this review a like, leave a comment, or even subscribe if you'd like to see more. Every bit of support helps us grow this little community of book lovers. See you in the next one.